Daddy Claus has come to save the day. What is this, the PNP? Oh, what's up, my boy Prime?
What's going on, everybody? It's me, the PI. I am me.
What's going on? Sorry, you got the Santa giggles in me, man. The Santa giggles.
We're here with another episode of the PNP. Obviously, I'm Prime. Here with
Daddy
Leeboy
Claus.
Claus.
Oh, Daddy Claus in the building.
So obviously, you can see we're wearing Santa hats. Obviously, if you're watching, you're listening, we're wearing Santa hats. It's a Christmas edition of the PNP, and yeah, I decided why not just do something Santa related because you know reason for the season, some people's eyes. Uh, and before we even get to what we talking about, the main issue, what's up? What's up, Lee boy?
Leeboy, who that boy Leeboy? This Daddy Claus. I'm in the spirit this morning, this evening. Whenever you watching this, that's where the spirit resides. Where the spirit reside, where the spirit resides.
Oh my god!
All right. Let me get up out of character. That's too much. Let me go to the little mini. Can y'all see the mini Santa? Oh, the mini Santa joint. Y'all ain't feeling that one? Okay, I'll switch it up. Switch it up for you one time. I'm in the spirit this year. Got the Star Wars Santa hat. Oh, that's killing it. But the one I'm gonna land on this evening, I do my Disney content. We got the Disney Santa hat. Shout out to my guy Mickey. You guys can see those ears. They're gonna be going in and out because of a little effect in the background. But that's where we're gonna land at today. What's up, man? I'm ready to go now. No fun and games.
I don't even know where to go from there, but we have to go somewhere. So we were just talking about Santa Clauses and wanted to do a list, but I'll be honest with you. I only know, other than this Santa that we're about to talk about, I only know one other good Santa, in my opinion. Label, do you have any? You don't have any?
Yeah, well, Santa Claus movies, I mean, there's a bunch of fake Santa Clauses in movies. There's not too many good ones where he's actually being Santa Claus.
Mm-hmm.
So, the pickings were a little slim.
But this one is probably the best Santa. Can you agree with that or not?
Yeah, and I mean, we should tell the people what we're talking about today. We're talking about the movie. Is it 94?
Yep, 94. Yep.
The Santa Claus or The Santa Claus, starring Tim Allen. And yeah, I mean, growing up, I just thought somehow it was like believable. It was like realistic. Maybe not believable, but somewhat realistic of how it would go if a normal person became Santa. So I always liked this movie, and I'm glad we're talking about it today.
Yeah, I like this movie, but I think he gets better on as Santa later in the movies. But I think this movie, it's Tim Allen, what you know him for, wise cracking jokes and all that, transforming into Santa. So it's like the first half of the movie he's just Tim Allen, and then the second half of the movie he's what some people would consider as a good Santa. And the evolution is cool, but
yeah, you definitely see a progression there. And then in the beginning of the movie, they have this whole dynamic with, he's splitting up from his wife and he's got his kid and a stepfather that he's dealing with. Reminds me a lot of Liar Liar. I love that movie as well. Obviously Jim Carrey, he's trying to win over his kid and be in good graces with the mom and show up the stepfather. So a lot of those elements are the same, which is maybe a reason why I like this movie so much as a kid. But yeah, you could it was dope, the evolution or the transition we seen from regular old Tim Allen, the tool man, to Mr. SC, which is cool. It's a cool movie.
Which is also, before we get into our little review or whatever, is also, it's not a family movie, but it's a family movie. It's because, like I said, wisecracking jokes, Tim Allen, he jokes in the first half of the movie, and then the second half he's straight PG Santa. So it's like two halves, because even in the first few minutes, it's a joke that they had to take out. They took it out of. It was in theaters and it was on a VHS, but after that, it's not on Disney Plus. It's not on nowhere. But there's a hotline joke that they make in the beginning. He was like, "Oh, me and Charlie called a hotline last night." And obviously, it was called like whatever the number was. It was a real hotline number, and it was getting real calls, so they had to take it out. But I think that's funny. But anyways,
I'm always coming with the Easter eggs, man. Like
oh, yeah.
who's this? I don't know. I'm not sure what version I watched, but I didn't see the hotline part, so I'm
You did
proud.
not see the hotline. The only reason, the only people that have seen the hotline version are the people that still have the VHS. If you haven't seen it on VHS, then you don't have the hotline version. That's
For sure.
plain and simple. But before we get into it, because I just thought about it, how do you feel about the coincidental Scott Calvin and Santa Claus name SC initials?
So yeah, SC. I mean, I think it makes sense for them to like throw in a bunch of innuendos and coincidences. Like he's got to be Scott Calvin, um, um, just for the jokes, for the sake of jokes. But yeah, I mean, it's cool. It makes sense to me. I mean, the only part that like tripped me out, and we'll probably get into this, is when they delivered all those packages to Scott Calvin, and it's like,
Yeah.
you don't
But
know, this is like
he said
nobody
SC.
realizes he's Santa. Like, come on, man. There's
He
just so
said
many instances where it's like, come on, cat's out
he
the
said,
bag.
"Are you?" Dude was like, "Hey, are you SC?" He was like, "Scott Calvin, that's me." All right.
I would have been totally like, nah, I'm not looking for that SC. I'm looking for, I got these 150 packages. Actually, way more than that. Should be for all the kids around the world, which kills me too. We're gonna get into that later, but
we'll get to that, and that actual scene makes me very upset. We'll get into it later. But anyway, Scott and his son Charlie, and Charlie's coming over for Christmas. Neil, I forgot his mom's name. They don't really say his mom's name, but his mom and Neil is the stepdad. They are going to, I guess, Neil's parents' house. So Charlie doesn't want to stay with his dad, and so going through divorce. So obviously he wants to stay with his mom, and it's not going well. It's not going well. He burns the food. He took him to Denny's while all the other dads burnt their food at, which is a it's a funny joke. Then, you know, going to sleep, he was just like, all right, go to sleep. Christmas is over. They spent Christmas at Denny's burning food. That's not a good Christmas. So
I'll just relate to this really quick because my parents split up when I was young, and I just remember going to my dad's. The food just was never quite right. It was never quite a home feeling. You know what I'm saying? Like it was like dark, and it was just never, wasn't never cheery. So, and not to say that one was any less than the other, but I was feeling a little Charlie on this. He's like, you didn't have to pull out the goddamn fire extinguisher twice on one turkey.
Yep.
Wow.
But all right. So here is the basically the meat and potatoes of the movie, or something to get into it. They hear stuff on the roof. Charlie wakes up Scott or Tim Allen, whatever, and he's like, "Oh, maybe it's just a branch or something." They hear it again. He's like, "All right, I'm gonna go outside." First of all, who's call? Do you think this was Tim Allen's call to go outside like this in the winter with a big coat and some drawers?
Yeah, like, he just had the drawers.
Who does that?
Yeah, I'm just not going outside if that's what I got on. It's not that urgent. How urgent could this possibly
be? It is something was on your roof, so it's like you gotta like I don't know.
I'm staying inside, yeah.
But anyway, so he says, "Hey, you," or something like that, and the dude, clumsy Santa, falls and dies. Like, okay, he never fell off a roof before. They don't have this.
Yeah, they don't have no
tough and
backup plan, no emergency.
Well, they had a backup
number.
plan, but yeah.
It's got to be. I mean, you got to have some precautions for the roof. You know what I'm saying? That you on the job, man. Like there's got to be some workplace employment laws against all this, man. Like
yeah, I mean, he never came past a guy working at 11:30. He came home and he on the roof. Like I don't know. Anyways, Santa.
So dies. That originally happens on what, Christmas Eve, right?
Yes, when Santa usually delivers the gifts. Yes.
Right.
So Santa dies, and Charlie comes outside and it says, "Put the suit on." Reindeer know what to do, so he puts the suit on. He gets on top. He sees the reindeer and everything, and so they kind of just go delivering presents house to house, whatever. Um, then so they're done with all that stuff for the night. A good line though, because he's embracing it, but not embracing it. Like he's still like, I'm going crazy once people are having a dream. So he was like,
yeah.
he was like, ho ho ho, Merry Christmas, and to all a good night. And in the morning, I'm getting a CAT scan. Yeah, I don't know, that line just stick out to me. Like, all right, it's a good line, especially from Tim Allen's delivery. But they go to the North Pole, and now it's not starting to set in, but it's like, all right, this is weird. So obviously he's still SC. They call him SC. Got him SC pajamas. Everything says SC. So
he's
like,
still
oh,
skinny. He's still skinny at this point too. Yeah.
Yeah, he's still regular to you. He said, "Oh, Scott Calvin. Yeah, Scott Calvin. Yeah." They're like, no. You're Santa Claus. He's like, "What you mean?" He's like, "Did you put on the suit?" He was like, "Yeah." "Did you get the card?" He was like, "Yeah." "Well, you're Santa." So
and this is Bernard,
yeah.
which is
Bernard,
his character is just hilarious because he's like the grumpiest elf of all
and
time.
oldest and the biggest elf.
Old, he must have had some kind of glitch where he got old and came up to the North Pole or something because everybody else is small. He mad. I mean, they asked who's the head elf in charge. They didn't never mention Bernard. They kept saying it's you, Santa, it's you, SC, it's you, it's you. It should have been Bernard, man. Give
Bernard is the head elf. Bernard is the head elf in charge. Santa is in charge.
Right.
So I guess under Santa, then it's Bernard, and then later Curtis, but you'll meet him later. Anyways, he goes to sleep, and I guess whenever he goes to sleep, they put him back in his bed magically. So he wakes up, he was like, "Oh, I had a dream. That was weird. SC. Okay. Scott Calvin, of course." And then, of course, mom comes to pick him up. And now Charlie is like, "Yeah, dad is Santa, and he did this, and he did that, and he did that." And she's like, "Did you let him watch what did y'all do last night?" And then that's when in the original version he says, "We called a hotline." So that's when he says it. But then he was like, "Nah, we just," and he can't remember. So he's like, we just I don't know.
Or he can remember, but his memory is just he doesn't believe what he remembers.
Yeah, exactly.
He thinks
so of course
still. But Charlie confirms it. He's like, nah.
Charlie fired up.
North Pole. We saw Bernard. We saw the elves. And mom is like, come on now. Because what we didn't explain is he's having this whole issue with believing in Santa and other kids aren't believing in Santa. So they're trying to, play it down a little bit like, all right, Santa's real, but he's like an idea. And then it turns out his dad is Santa. But it makes Tim Allen or SC Scott Calvin's character look crazy. Like he's been telling Charlie about Santa, knowing well that he's already going through this episode. So
it's not weird to me, but it's like he's maybe 6 or 7, and they like, all right, Santa ain't real. It's like, well,
I don't know. Be young, right? To kill somebody's dreams about Santa.
Yeah.
Like,
that's what Tim Allen was saying. He was like, well, if you're gonna tell him, at least let me be a part of it, because that's not. At least let him have some imagination, especially with his parents getting divorced. Is what Scott Calvin was saying, Tim Allen. But anyways, all this stuff happens. So now Charlie goes to school. He's like, yeah, my dad is Santa, and Santa. And now the people are getting worried. They're like, Scott, what are you telling him? And then of course, Scott is changing. He's getting bigger. He's getting a white beard, long white hair. And he shaves it off, and he can't.
Facial hair is popping right back up, like
comes right back. Which I like that effect though. I like that one effect of where he shaves it off and he's looking in the mirror, and it just transforms on his face.
And he's like,
yeah, great effects. He goes to the doctor, and he's like on the scale, running it off, and the doctor's like, "No, you're still the same weight." So.
Yeah, at one point he literally gets on a scale and it's going up as he's on the scale.
Yes.
He's like, this scale's gotta be broken, man.
So
The hell's going
yes.
on with this scale?
So while he's having a crisis of I might be Santa, uh, they have okay, which is this is I'm not gonna lie to you, this is very extreme. But they take away his visitation privileges because he wants his son to believe that Santa is real.
Yeah, y'all
So
gonna
yeah,
take away his visitation. Come on, child
they take
support
away his
court.
visitation because he wants his son to believe in Santa. He's dressing up like Santa, or they think he's dressing up like Santa to make sure his son still believes in Santa. Like, really though, that gets you from not seeing your kids.
Yeah, I mean,
God,
I could
like,
see if he was
geez.
10, 12 years old, you got him brainwashed that Santa's real. He's only 6 years old.
Yeah, it's
Let
like
him
six,
live,
7, yeah.
Lord.
But anyway, Bernard gave him a snow globe, and he was like, "All right, well, I got a snow globe, cool." And now he's just showing everybody, but they not believing it. They just like, okay, cool. So then a lot of things happen. A lot of things happen, and of course we get the list. He gets the list, and now he's like studying this list, and he's going around, I guess trying to see who's naughty or nice. So he's like, Kevin, naughty, and he passed by a lady. He's like, Veronica, very nice, and then she's like, in your dreams, he was like, naughty. Okay, I got you. So yeah, so he's just going around, basically saying naughty or nice, and he goes to Charlie's like soccer game, and he's just sitting there. And of course, everybody thinks he's Santa Claus because the
He's
appearance.
fat and he got that
He
beard. Yeah.
he has a red coat and a white hat, and then obviously the white hair. So they're like, "Oh, that's Santa." And then his mom comes in there pissed, like, "Oh, you want Charlie and all these kids to be? Did you want brownie points? You ain't get no brownie points. We're leaving." She takes Charlie out the game, and then they just leave. And then I guess that's when they foul the final. You can't see him, of course. And then
Now, just to make it clear that obviously we see that Scott Calvin has transitioned. I feel like they should have like cut Charlie's hair a little bit or just gave him just a little bit slight look because he looks exactly the same. I mean,
yep,
but when you're that age from 6 to 7, there's drastic changes that
he kept
happen.
that little bowl cut.
Yeah, little like he kept the same exact outfit on, same hair and everything, and like obviously he looks exactly the same because he was the same age. But I think they could have did a little bit of something with that because it kind of just confusing if you're not really paying attention.
Right. Cause like Neil, the guy Neil, in the beginning, he had his hair to where I guess he can like slick it back. So in the beginning it looked slick back, so it looked like he don't have as much of them. And at the end of the movie, when he comes back, it's like, he has it out. So it looks like a time passed. But
But
of course,
mom looked the same pretty much, right?
yeah, mom looked
Mom looked the same, Charlie looked the same. Obviously, Scott Calvin looks totally different. So
yes.
there's your transition.
But anyways, he comes to say goodbye to Charlie, as in like you can't see him because of visitation. And Charlie's like, okay, but here, look at the snow globe. And he's like, I see it. He's like, no, look into it, believe it. And then he looks into the snow globe. He believes it. He's like, oh, I'm Santa Claus. Like, all right. And then it's like as soon as he's like, I'm Santa Claus, the reindeer are like on the roof. And his mom and Neil go like out the room somewhere, come back, and they go. And he was like, oh, you trying to kidnap my son? Let me call the cops. So they call the cops on them and everything. And that was bad. But of course, knowing Charlie, he went to the North Pole with his dad to to what they gonna do this year to deliveries and all that. They got a fire suit, like a not a fire suit as the kids say, but they got a fire suit like it can't catch on fire, which he will still probably die because he ain't got no face cover. But got a fire suit. They got
They got the hot cocoa. You
hot
talking about all the
cocoa.
gadgets? Yeah, the
Yes, the
cocoa
cookies.
dispenser.
Yeah, they got all that they done rigged up the sleigh and all that with. And I'm pretty sure at this point, since it's Thanksgiving, it's probably like December now. And he's just not calling his mom, like, yeah, I'm okay, I'm with dad. He's like, She's like, where you at? He's like, I'm at the North Pole. He said it all casually.
And
He's like,
that's
I'm at
what
the
killed me. The first and second time they went to the North Pole, like Charlie was like, "Oh yeah, we just chilling." Like first off, Charlie didn't have no coat on. He was in
Nah,
that.
not at all.
Especially the second time, I noticed when they was sipping the hot cocoa. I'm like, you need all that cocoa and cookies.
Yeah.
You ain't got no beanie on, bruh, or a
Yeah.
jacket,
Yeah.
and you in the air going 100 miles per hour. You must be cold as hell. But yeah, Charlie just chilling in the North Pole. He ain't even tripping.
Yep. So, anyways, we're a year later. It was Christmas Eve again, and they're delivering gifts. And then they go to Charlie's house. And while he's for some reason delivering Charlie's gifts, uh, police are like, "All right, Scott Calvin, get him!" And then of course he gets arrested. So he gets arrested. His reindeer is still at the top or whatever. And now it's like Operation Save Santa. So Charlie is on the roof, which so did the cops just not check on the roof to see these reindeer and a little boy? What?
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of big misses in this where and
Yeah.
that's where I said in the beginning he was believable, and that was
Mhm.
obviously in a child's eyes, and the transformation and stuff, like when the facial hair pops up, I was like, oh, that's cool movie magic.
Mhm.
But
Yep.
when people are just missing these obvious Santa clues, it's
Mhm.
like it hurts just to watch
Yeah.
as a fan of cinema.
'Cause all the kids are like, "Oh, it's Santa," and all the adults are like, "Yeah, whatever."
we don't
He's
we
just a
just
guy
don't
trying to
see
be
it.
Santa. Yeah. So
And we
yeah.
said we would go to it, so I have to go back to when the presents get delivered,
Mhm.
which is just one of the biggest clues that this guy's saying. His name's SC. I mean,
Mhm.
he just nonchalantly says, "All right, you just go upstairs. I'm gonna put all the presents inside the house. It's a billion presents inside the house. First off,
Yes.
how you do it that quick? You didn't
Hey,
need
I
no
don't
help.
know. I don't know. All he said is, "I'm gonna go shade." It don't take that long to go shade,
And then
especially for it to go right back.
they had about 5 FedEx trucks. And you mean to tell me that's enough for all the kids in the world?
Apparently,
Five
it's a movie.
trucks.
It's a movie. So hey, it wasn't presents. It was the list. So the list of names. So I guess
Oh, that was only list. Those weren't any
yes.
presents.
No, only
Damn.
the list. Yes.
Okay, so that might be enough. All right.
So that might be it. 5 full FedEx trucks of a paper, pretty much.
So where the
Man,
presents come from then? They
the
just
presents
appear.
come from the
It's
North
magic.
Pole. No,
It,
the elves make presents all year.
but I'm saying, as far as him delivering, do they ever show?
Oh, they don't show. Okay, from what I've gathered from this movie, from the first movie, it's like I guess whatever house he's at, the bag just fills up.
It's
It's
magic.
like Amazon.
Yeah.
You go to Amazon, it's like they put in the address, and when you get to the address, whatever is on there is in there, and then you take it in, and then it gives you the next address, and then you go to the next address, and then whatever's on there, you take it in.
So somehow it's
Because
magic. Okay, that I
it's
mean,
magic somehow.
his
Because it's empty.
explanation is better than him carrying around all the boxes. So
Yeah, because at the end of each house is empty. Because he was like in the beginning, he was like, "Look, it's empty," and then he went to the next house. He was like, "Y'all, it's empty." Then he looked in there and was like, "Oh, it's filled up again." So then the thing actually takes him in there. So the what is it? The sack takes him in the house. So that's
right.
how he gets in there. So yeah. Um, but anyways, we're a year later, and he had an altercation with a little girl the year before when he was just Scott Calvin. Now he's Santa, and he told her he wants soy milk. So he drunk. He was like, "Ew." She was like, "What? You said you want soy milk?" He was like, "Oh yeah, I did say that, right?"
Yeah, he was like, I
Okay.
think this milk expired.
Yeah. He was like, "I did say that, right?" Okay. All right. You're right. You're right. You're right. You're right. And all that kind of stuff. So it's like he still gets a redemption from being non-believing Scott Calvin to now Santa Claus. And now the Elf Squad got to get him out. So
The
they
Elf
fly.
Squad, huh?
They get Charlie. They get SC out of jail because
Wait, and address them properly. These are the Elves with attitude. And
yes,
I hate when they just add with attitude to any group of people.
yes, it's
Because
the
it's like
elves with attitude.
you kind
The
of
nicest
you're
elves,
not
probably.
using the N word, but you know what that first word is, and you just taking this whole hip hop, and there's nothing else hip hop about this movie except for they just like it's just with attitude. Okay, okay,
They are probably the nicest elves in this movie. They're nicer than Bernard. Like
right.
these are probably the nicest elves. Probably because they fight other people. That's why they get the attitude. So yeah, sure. Sure.
EWA.
Yeah, sure. So yeah, so they save Santa, and now he's back. Charlie's back with his mom, and now they're back at the house. His mom and Neil still don't believe it, and then he gives them some gifts from their childhood. They believe it, and
But yeah, I
uh,
mean, and
yeah,
I thought that was actually a decent part of the movie where like they're going back and they remember what deterred them from believing in Santa. The mom's like, oh, I kept asking for that one gift. And then Neil, he was like, I wanted that Oscar Mayer wiener whistle.
yep, yep,
I kept asking for it. And what killed me, he stopped believing at 3 years old. Like,
yeah,
God,
because he ain't get it. He was like,
I
I ain't
don't
get it.
even
I ain't.
remember being 3 years old at
I
Christmas.
ain't
Like,
real.
you was asking for the Oscar Mayer wiener whistle all the whole time you was 2 up until you was 3, and then and said, "Oh, skip Santa, forget Santa.
Yeah.
He didn't bring me my whistle at 3 years old. You done already? Damn."
By the way, just a quick question: does Santa lose track of like he got arrested and had to go back and all that kind of stuff? So does that mean some people don't get their gifts
Yeah, how
because
does
of
he
he?
make enough time, right? Like, this got to be a tight schedule on Christmas Eve, bro. Like,
Yeah,
any
yeah,
setbacks,
yeah, yeah.
how are you getting this done?
So yeah.
I would assume, yeah, there might be. Look, if it was me, I would have the present because he had the naughty or nice list was presents, cold. See, I would have the in between list. So, like, just in case I don't have time, these kids is on the cusp. Y'all gonna get some cold this year. I'm sorry. So maybe he had the third list. We just didn't see. But that's
And
how.
then Neil asked him like Neil asked him something about what he want or something. He was like, I don't think I'm gonna go in the family business. And I always make this joke because the family business means he wants to be Santa. So that means he wants to push his dad off a roof and kill him to be Santa.
Yeah, I mean that's the only way it's gonna happen, right? I mean, there's no actual expiration on saying other than slipping
No,
off the
because
roof.
as
I
soon as
mean,
you're Santa, you're immortal.
yeah, which is I'm still struggling with. How did the first Santa lose his life so like easily? Like you ain't ready for that, bro. It's snow everywhere. You on roofs, like
Hey, who
you gotta
knows?
have some
Who
Timberlands
knows?
on with some cleats, like
Who knows? Who
some
knows?
spikes in there, bro. Come on.
But yes, anyways, it's a happy family. They not getting divorced no more. And she's like, you can come see Charlie whenever you want, and pretty much happy family. Charlie, Neil, Scott Calvin, Santa Claus, and the mom are happy, and Bernard and all the other elves too. But I would say this is a good family movie, other than the Tim Allen isms, which I'm pretty sure are probably just for the adults that want to go with their kids. Because like even in the beginning, there's a joke with Tim Allen. He was like, "Hey, so and so, that's why your secretary's in your lap because your wife isn't here, right?" And then so he makes jokes like that. But yeah,
I mean, it's that good inappropriate 90s humor where they're not, it's they're kind of alluding to it, but like in today's
for every Tim Allen movie.
yeah, in today's climate though, people are too aware of those type of jokes for them to slide through at all. Like, no, 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 this is too obvious. But back then, I think there was some, it was a little bit covered up, but not, looking back at it now, it's like, it's just inappropriate for a family movie. But
Does Tim Allen get? Do you think they will ever do a fourth Santa Claus?
with Tim Allen,
Yes.
I don't think with Tim Allen. I think they'll try to bring this back with someone
Do you think Charlie
five
will
years
be
from now.
somehow Santa Claus?
I can see him being maybe the dad
Okay.
or something,
Okay.
being the stepdad, and somehow he like, nah, I don't believe it no more. I was just a kid or something like that.
Oh,
Then
they already did that.
they already did that
They already did the I
in
don't
number
believe it no
three.
more. No, they did it in the second one
Oh, see, look, I got to go back and watch.
because and they are so far from each other. That's why I believe the second one came out in like 2002. So that's almost 8 years. That's 8 years. So he's like, yeah, I stopped believing because my dad never sees me anymore because he's mad because he can't tell nobody that his dad is Santa because he can't tell nobody.
But as of now, I would say that they would probably cast someone else, like a Ryan Reynolds or something like that.
I
Some
think everybody would want Tim Allen though.
I could
I
see
mean,
him being in it, maybe passing along or dying
yeah,
real
I
quick.
would say either he died,
He
not
got to die in
dies,
the
dies,
beginning.
but he passes the torch and then he just gets old. So maybe he might either die or just gets very old.
Yeah, I
Like
could see
his
him like if
immortal
he was a
old.
coach, if he was a Santa Claus coach, that would be
Yeah.
nice. That'd be dope.
Yeah. Something like that. Something like that where he's Santa, but he like and somehow in the movie he passes the torch to a
Mhm.
new generation or whatever. Yeah. I can see that happening. He does have a son too, so
Yeah,
that
yeah.
could be something too. Or he has a son in the third one. So that could be something too. Whatever. Anyways, I guess that's the Santa Claus because we don't ramble on enough because like it's Christmas. Y'all don't want to hear us keep talking on and on and on and on and on and on and on.
Yeah, go
So
watch the Santa Claus.
yeah, go watch the
Yeah,
Santa
go
Claus.
ahead check that out. And they did a cool, I guess, little play on words with it being the clause. If you
Exactly. I was just about to say that. I was like, the reason why everybody spells Santa Claus wrong.
right, so just be aware of that. Look out for that. It's interesting. It's a good
Mhm.
story. If you haven't seen this one, then just check it out. It's a great
Yes.
for Christmas and after. And they got a couple sequels that are worthy based on the first one. So
Yes.
a nice little enterprise of movies you guys can watch on Christmas.
Yes. Uh, Real quick, we gotta breeze through this. All right. When I say breeze through this, you give me the categories, and we're gonna give our grades. Nostalgia star. Let's go.
Let's do it.
Production.
Production, I'll give this an A minus. I love
Okay.
the how they show Santa to us, and I love the special effects of Tim Allen turning into Santa. So that'll give me
Yes.
an A minus right there.
I would give it an A. I would give it a straight A because not a I give it an A because like everything Santa Claus eat in the workshop looks so much of what you imagine something like that would look like with your imagination. All the
We got the
sets on there,
reindeers.
yeah,
Yeah,
reindeers. The set with the toy with the workshop, and then the house. Like they don't look like like some movies where they have a house. It don't look like a house, look like a set or a stage. So a lot of everything I thought
just
was
in
good in
general,
there.
his Santa Claus suit was nice.
Yep. Yep.
The box with all the lists was, looked very Santa-esque, if that's a
Yep.
word. Definitely not.
The
But yeah, very a bunch
suit
of nice
looks
touches.
good too.
Suit looks
Yeah.
good.
So yeah,
Bunch of nice touches in this
give
one.
it a give it an A. Plot, I would give the plot a B because the first part is good, obviously of him becoming Santa, but the divorce and the you can't see your kid no more. It's kind of too much, just for me a little bit. Okay.
Yeah, they hit a couple extremes in this one, like you said, the whole divorce, and then them like not wanting Charlie's 6-year-old Charlie to believe in Santa no more. Like it's just way past time. Like relax now,
Mm-hmm.
relax. They could have made him 8 or 9 if they wanted to do all that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
so yeah, there's a couple holes in the plot. A lot of people did not recognize Santa, which they could have made a couple jokes there. People, just like seeing through SC Scott Calvin. So I'll be right there with at a B with you. B.
Okay. Um, should we do Fandom? Mm, yeah, let's do Fandom. I would say Fandom for this is an A because they have 3 movies and everybody wants a fourth one. And it's like, even though people really don't necessarily like Tim Allen, if he's doing a Santa Claus movie, they're gonna want to see it every time, which is weird. But
I'll give it a B. No particular reason other than it. I don't think it gets enough praise as a Christmas classic quite yet. I think it could get there, but just the fact that it has 3 movies, obviously, there's lots of fans behind it. But I think this one could be heralded more as a classic, so I'll give it some room for improvement.
okay, okay. Well, let's go with cast. Cast, I'm gonna give it a B because Tim Allen, Judge Reinhold are the only
That
people I
Neil.
necessarily, yeah, are the only people I necessarily know. And Bernard, but Bernard is still known for this and other stuff, but not nothing major.
Yeah, I mean, I'll just give it, I guess, C plus ish for the same reason. I really only know Tim Allen, recognize Neil, recognize Bernard a little bit, don't know their names. Mom didn't know, and it's no, no indictment on them or anything. I guess it sounds
Mm-hmm.
pretty bad, but Tim Allen, they pretty much got him to carry this whole thing. And Tim Allen, he's a star. He's a star, but
Yes.
not a lot of, like you said, not a lot of people like him. Not the person I would choose to lead my movie. I do like him in the TV show arena. He was great in this, so there's no real, nothing against him in general, but he just ain't that great of an actor. Let's just keep it real. He's
I mean,
great as
I like
voice,
him when
voiceover. He's
he,
great.
well, yeah, of course, yeah. I
Yeah,
like him when he's, if it calls for him to be a snarky character, but all of his characters are snarky, so it's like he's just playing Tim Allen. Like how some people say a certain people play the same person, just different names.
that's Tim
That's
Allen.
like that's Tim Allen, unfortunately.
No.
But Buzz, when he's Buzz, he transforms. He ain't Tim Allen, he's Buzz. Other than that, any other thing, he's Tim Allen or Tim the Tool Man, and to be more specific.
Yep.
Yes. And what's our last category?
Longevity.
Longevity. Oh well.
How's this one continue to play out? We talked about the graphics. I think that they look pretty good still. I think they look pretty
Yeah.
good.
To be almost 30, yes.
Yeah, they look real good. In general, like the sets and everything like that. Like this movie could have easily been dated, but it just doesn't feel like a dated movie watching it. It feels pretty good. The jokes are pretty good. The acting is not, it's not like terrible 90s deplorable acting or anything like that. It's
Mm-hmm.
solid enough and something that you could still see on screen today. Wouldn't be surprised if something like this came out tomorrow. So especially on Disney Plus and like the low budget movies that they do not play, or some of the Netflix movies and stuff that are out there like this. This could definitely compete in 2021 going on to 2022. So longevity, I'll give it a B plus, A minus. Let's
I give it
say
a B.
I'll give it a B plus.
Okay. And that was a nostalgia star. We're gonna be rating. We always rate moves on the nostalgia star. Which hey, be on the lookout for some more. We got some more nostalgia ratings coming out because we did do 6 Home Alone movies. So all right, we might put them out 6 days of Christmas or whatever the case is. I don't know, but hey,
6 days of Christmas, boy. What you talking about?
hey, we could do 6 days of
I
Christmas
thought
in
it was
one day.
12 days. You just made something up.
Well, yeah, 6 movies. So I just whatever.
There you go.
Hanukkah, the
Yeah,
Hanukkah-ness of Christmas. I don't know.
The Kwanzaa candles
Yeah, whatever.
of Home Alone movies. There you go.
But well, we already know. Yeah, whatever. All right, so let everybody know where they can find you.
Find me on LeeboyTV.com, Leeboy TV on all socials. I just did a feature for a music video. My guy Ace Noir. Go check out that pay up video. You can find the link in my Instagram bio. Yeah, it was a good time. And then make sure you check out our last episode with Jonesy from You Got Served. He had a dope announcement about You Got Served too in there. So go check that out as well. And hopefully you had a Merry Christmas. This is going out right before Christmas. Have a Merry Christmas. Christmas is on Saturday. This is Friday. Happy holidays, everybody. From
Happy
Daddy Claus
holidays.
himself.
Yep, happy holidays. And yeah, so you can follow me Twitter, Instagram, KBNG Primetime. Follow the podcast at oh my gosh. You can follow the podcast at Prime Nostalgia Pod on Instagram, P Nostalgia Pod on Twitter. We're gonna get more active on there. We're gonna get more active on posting stuff on TikTok too, because hey, why not? New Year, we're gonna start posting our clips on TikTok and Twitter and all that kind of. We're gonna start, doing more.
Y'all make sure y'all make them clips go crazy. Like, share, and comment. Straight from
Yes.
Daddy Claus.
What if Bernie Mac was Santa? Can you do a Santa Bernie Mac?
Mother sucker.
I told you gonna get the
I
cold.
couldn't do that, but I ain't gonna deface Santa like that. That's blasphemous. And then also Leeboy and Fuzz, this character, Daddy Claus, actually showed up alongside Fuzz last year. I'm gonna be putting out something special on Christmas for that. So hopefully you guys can check it out.
Yeah, and I guess that's all we got to say. Look out for this episode. Let us know what y'all want next, because next is New Year's. I'm assuming so. We'll see y'all almost next year because it's not quite gonna be New Year's, but you know what I mean. Anyways, from Leeboy, from Santa,
Daddy
from
Claus.
me, I'm gonna say prime time is all the time.
All the time. Merry
And we out. Here.
Thanks for tuning in to the Prime Nostalgia, the podcast dedicated to entertainment from childhood. That's 80s, 90s, the latest 2000s. Cause Prime know it all, and Leeboy be wild, and he's from all that. Dropping gems for you to find, so that's orange, the lightest line. Prime time is all the time. We talking about the classics, and there's so many. That's Leeboy TV and PRIME. Ow.